You mentioned one, Teddy Wilson, certainly, and of course Art Tatum, of course. But I never heard Art Tatum in a big band context. He had a trio at one time, Slam Stewart and I forget the guitar player's name. But people like that, even Earl Hines. A lot of people think that Earl Hines may have had the style that may have been the forerunner of the bebop style because it was a single line style. He played a lot of stuff with his right hand, a lot of lines and figures and so forth. That may have inspired some of the early bebop artists. But I mean, people like that inspired me. Teddy Wilson certainly was one. Fats Waller was another one. Of course, Duke Ellington. Although I didn't think of Duke Ellington as a pianist as much as an arranger and a band leader. His pianistic style wasn't as impressive, I guess because he didn't play that much. He was always conducting the band and, of course, arranging for the band. But people like that inspired me. And I guess, I don't know, I'd have to say that I can't say that I patterned myself after anyone in particular, except that I always liked the two-handed piano style, that is where you use both hands. I think the main thing I got from these people that I mentioned was the fact that they were not only great soloists, but they had also great musical ideas, and their execution was perfect. Teddy Wilson, while his style was not as fluent as Art Tatum's, that is, he didn't play such a large volume of notes, he had a very distinctive rhythmic style that I thought was fantastic. And I think that although he didn't play very much solo, he played with the Benny Goodman Trio. And I think that he contributed a lot to that trio and probably had a lot to do with the success of that group. And I think Benny loved him, of course, his musical playing. Fats Waller was more of a soloist who used a very rhythmical left hand and always played the correct harmonic sequences. I think that's what I got from these people more than anything else, and especially Art Tatum. His playing exemplified the best of every category of jazz piano that you'd like to mention. He had the stamina, he had the execution, he had the ideas, he had the facility, and he had the musical mind. So you get something from each of these people. I don't think what you get from each one is different, a little bit different than what you get from the other one, but put together, they form a model of playing that you try to emulate. Now, you don't try to emulate any one style particularly. What you do is you combine all the best qualities of all of these people, you try to emulate that. And that takes you in a different direction because at the same time, you're putting more of yourself into the music or into the ideas, musical ideas that you're playing. So it's a process. It's an evolutionary kind of thing. You don't do it overnight. It happens over time.
Mm-hmm.